Hello, welcome back to the PoddiMouths podcast. I am Peyton Cubic, and this is where my dad and his friend John talk about random stuff in life or the things they found on the internet. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode as much as I did. Here they are now.
And we're in.
You know what I miss? I kind of miss the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I know, but that was getting old. Just like our podcast.
Us, I mean, no. Nice. That's very funny. So yeah, that's why it was so good. It was a countdown, and for viewers and listeners, and you never were aware of it. It's just that we would see it, and we'd go, "Okay, I could do a clear my throat," or know. What else do we do?
No more clearing we got to clear the throat on the podcast. We have to have some sort of content. Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, we have to have some sort of throat clearing content.
Yeah. Or any content exactly that is entertaining whatsoever.
Yeah. Let's not push that.
We won't go there.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to PoddiMouths. We are so happy that you're here. And
the podcast that just keeps on giving.
And we felt bad last week because we really wanted to record one, and we were it was kind of a hit or miss.
Yeah.
When you're busy professionals like we are, it's difficult.
Sorry.
It's difficult to sometimes make the schedules work out, and that was just it, right? Last week, and
it really was.
It's too bad,
really
but no matter. I mean, it's a good chance, hopefully, that you tuned in and listened to the classic. It was a good one.
It was
that's what I'm
classic.
Told.
Yeah, I don't know. I never listened to it.
Classic. Yeah, we lived them once. We don't need to live.
We lived it once.
But I'm pretty much guessing.
Amen.
Remember all the times we would say, "Hey, I know I've said this before."
Oh, we still say that.
I know.
I think we should change the name of the podcast to, I think I said that before. Or I think we talked about that before. That is actually a really good idea for a podcast.
Is it?
Yeah. I think I said that. I think we mentioned that before.
They would have to watch. They would have to watch 6 years or listen to 6 years of podcasts.
Yeah. Well,
in order to know,
is that a problem?
Did we really say that?
I don't see that as a problem.
I guess I don't either. Okay, but that's good. Anyway, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good. My beard is not coming in as well as yours, but
no, I just trimmed mine. Mine was very scruffy the other day.
Looks very trimmed, and you look.
Thank you.
You look. I don't know, sort of like you could be in the movies.
Some people say that they can't tell I have a beard anyways because it's so freaking white. One of my coworkers called me Santa Claus the other day.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? Yeah, probably.
You know what? You're fired.
Cheers to that. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, we are in the evening. Ding.
Oh yeah.
So
Ding.
I
missed my camera. There we go.
Opted for a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, so technical difficulties because that sounded really good. When I saw it, I'm like, ooh, I could do a red snapper. Because, I don't do Bloody Marys anymore. I only do red snappers.
I don't know what a red snapper is.
We talked about this,
Of course
John.
we have, but I'm trying to prompt you to say, we talked about it, and then say
we talked about this, yeah. A red snapper, folks, for those of you who don't remember when I mentioned it on the podcast before, is a Bloody Mary, but it's with gin instead of vodka. It's called a red snapper.
Oh.
It's very good. I like it.
A red snapper.
Anyway,
and
red
everything
snapper.
else is the same?
Yeah, everything else is the same.
Because I still do. I mean, I do all the
accoutrement,
horseradish, and Worcestershire. Wash your sister sauce.
Not gluten. Worcestershire sauce is not gluten free.
Some guy that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. Some guy that does YouTube videos and he's hilarious, but has some great, some really bad for you recipes that he makes. But he actually has something. It's a Worcestershire knockoff called Wash Your Sister sauce. It's hilarious.
I like it.
Oh my god,
I like it.
It's so funny. And of course, he got a southern drawl, and he's use some of my Wash Your Sister sauce. So that's one option. Anyway.
I love people that have a good sense of humor about things like that, like their accents, and that's fantastic.
It seems to work for him, and coming from someone who is struggling to get a viable YouTube presence, holy crap.
I'm sorry I haven't gone through and watched every single one and liked every.
Please don't.
I started, but I got busy. I'm sorry.
I get serious on some of them, and some of them are just completely stupid. And
But now you've got another Motorhead thing, which we did mention. Matt and I talked about on the last podcast a little bit. But you have a new toy to talk about, and I am going to take credit for bringing you back over to the dark side.
Yeah, you kind of did, and I mean, it wasn't. It's not like I'm trying to impress you. But if I would have gotten a Sahara, you would have said, "You're an idiot," whatever.
I probably would have. I probably
Did you
would
get
have.
A sport, cut it out.
I would have been okay with a sport, because here's the thing with people that buy sports. A lot of times, not always. Not always, but most of the time, people that buy sports do it because they can do the upgrades themselves.
Oh, well, that is not me, as you
not me
know.
either. That's why I did not buy a sport.
No, I'm calling the pool guy to look at the pump because I'm tired of figuring out why the salt level is
you have to clean those, right?
Oh, I do. Yes, we've learned. Yeah, we'll get to the pool later. Anyway, What you're referring to is my 2021 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon that I recently bought and traded in my Ford F-150 that was experiencing transmission problems.
Was found on the road dead.
It wasn't, but boy, I was afraid of that.
Did you have to fix or repair it daily?
I was trying to get it fixed or repaired. But
effed over rebuilt Dodge.
Impossible. It was wow, you know all of the good.
I do. Oh, you reverse it. Its driver returns on foot.
Wow. Okay. It was a great truck right up until you started saying that. Right? Anyway, yes, that truck is gone. And honestly, the biggest part about it was not the biggest. One of the other than I would have had it sitting in the driveway for 2 months waiting for people to look at it for transmission work, is that it wouldn't fit in the garage.
Yeah.
And now,
except it did. It just fit in sideways.
Well, yeah, but with no other vehicle. So Lisa's car, sorry. We're going to put your nice little 2-door BMW outside.
Yeah.
That wasn't flying. So
no.
Anyway, now they both fit in along with the Harley, along with the lawnmower and lawn tractor, and it all fits in the 3-car garage quite nicely.
Lawn tractor.
Yes.
But you were saying something about the Harley. Now that you have a Jeep.
Yeah. Well, it's not really because of that. It's because I just have not ridden the Harley. And my buddy Matt in Wisconsin Matt, or Hazmat as we like to call him.
I like Hazmat. Yep.
We used to ride together all the time, and we lived, 10 miles apart and then a block and a half apart at another time. And so we would ride all the time. And when you have a friend to ride with, it's a whole different ball game. And I'll admit, I have not, been out trying to find, "Who, you want to ride? Do you want to ride?" And I've run across some people that ride, but, it was just, it was a good situation. And so long story short, the bike has been sitting in the garage all alone, looking forlorn for a long time. Yeah. And I will ride it occasionally to, a group meeting or something like that. But very little. And Lisa hasn't been on it in, I don't know, 6 months probably.
Okay.
And so anyway, it's making me sad that it just sits out there. I want somebody to ride it and enjoy it. It's a great bike. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But so I listed it today on cycletrader.com, and we'll see what happens. It's
okay. Well, good luck.
It's a great bike.
You should.
Well, again, it's not a fire or anything like that, but
yeah,
it's.
Have you looked at doing it on or putting it on? Bring a trailer.
No, I haven't, but that's really a good idea, and I will if CycleTrader doesn't work. I was kind of surprised with how much it was to list it.
Oh, really? How much? If you don't mind us?
No, I don't.
Us asking because
everybody's like,
I'm the podcast. Yeah,
edge of the seat. How much? Damn it! Probably not. It was. Well, I'm going to ask you. It's a 6 weeks they posted for on the site, but it's singular. I mean, it's one item. Motorcycles. That's all they have. I guess scooters and so on too. But and so I didn't know what to expect. I don't think I ever listed anything there before. Okay. So 6 weeks, up to 20 pictures and a video link.
$65.
Yeah, $169.
169. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So they start out at
Jeez.
$99 for the basic, and that's with 4 pictures. And the next level up is $169. I'm like,
wow,
yeah, that seems a little pricey, but
that's a little bit high.
If I sell it, okay, fine. I guess it's cost of doing business. But if it doesn't sell, it's kind of bogus.
That's a waste. It's a waste. If it doesn't sell, it's an absolute waste.
Yeah. But so anyway, bring a trailer is a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs to list. I've never obviously listed anything there, but I do frequent it.
As do I. And
it's a great site.
Enough to get me to think of that as my first choice. But they sell other things.
They do. They've actually started. I don't know if they started or I just finally noticed it, but I've been frequenting the RV section.
Oh, cool.
Because they have a lot of, they have vintage, they have new, they have everything. It's great.
Is that, well, you and I have talked about it forever. Mm-hmm. And ever since I started my cancer treatment, I've been like,
well, I think
and Lisa, he's a crazed RV man ever since he,
Well, is it treatments or was it COVID? Because COVID.
No, not for me. It was
treatments.
It was treatments. It was right after my my stem cell transplant. I was at home for 3 months and felt like shit. And the whole time I was online looking at RVs.
Got to do something.
Hey, this would be good. And she was like, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah.
Well, where do I start?
Exactly.
That's every time my daughter or wife say that to me. What is wrong with you? That is my genuine reaction is, where do I start?
Don't start.
Yeah.
It was not a real question. Not a real question.
It isn't? Oh,
no,
man.
Sorry. I know.
Well, we are trying to get closer. Matt and I talked about it on the last podcast, but we are trying to get closer to the point where we can go.
Can I just say, you and Matt, the last live one, it was fun.
Matt did a great job, didn't he?
He's Matt, so I know Matt, and I know what to expect from him. I know you're Matt, yes.
I was gonna come up with a really bad name, but he'd hate it. But
then let's not.
I don't know, because I've got other Matt. I've got a Matt friend that's Mattress. TJ. It's one of actually my buddy, the first listener of this podcast. TJ.
Yes, he was.
His buddy Matt is referred to as Mattress.
Mattress. Okay.
And then I've got a few other Matt friends that all have nicknames, but our Matt here, the one we're talking about, doesn't have a nickname. I was going to call him something with Cleveland in it, but I don't think that would be appropriate.
Probably not.
I'll let people come up with their own ideas. Hey, if you have an idea of what we can call Matt Smolik, then please leave a comment. And whatever if you're listening or if you are watching on YouTube, please leave a comment. Let us know what we should call Matt Smolik from here on out, so we can differentiate.
I hope he has an entry.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. Yeah. Yep.
Call me King Matt. Matt, the royalty of.
No.
I was talking to someone, and I can't recall.
You're talking to me right now, John.
I hope it wasn't on PoddiMouths. About one of my favorite Italian restaurants of all time.
Okay.
In Cleveland.
Oh, really? Outside of Cleveland. I've never been to Cleveland.
Fratello's. Mike Fratello used to be the coach of the Cavs
years ago.
And it is just the finest Italian restaurant I've ever been to. And we called on one of our dealer clients there and took him and, 6 of his managers. It was an expensive night, let's say, but oh my gosh, just real Italian food. And oh my God, it was amazing. Great restaurant. And one of my favorite parts about Cleveland.
So I want to talk about Italian a little bit and
food or
because people? Food.
Okay.
So, I think we've talked about this before, at least you and I have, maybe not on the podcast, but
yes.
We've talked about this before, how I've had friends that have gone to Italy.
Yes.
And so Jen, start this with, Jen has a little bit of a gluten sensitivity, not celiac, nothing major, but she, definitely has a little bit of a gluten sensitivity. And, I have other friends that do as well. They go to Italy and they can eat bread and they can eat pasta. They can do all this stuff and never have a problem.
Yeah.
So it has a lot to do with the ingredients and how they prepare things and, all of that conspiracy theory stuff that I'm going to stay away from.
Well, but I'm not sure we should, because it's out there, and Bobby Kennedy will tell you a lot about it.
100%. Yeah. So will Joe Rogan and all of the famous people.
For sure.
They're not quite as famous as we are, but they're getting there. They're up and coming.
They are.
Anyway, one thing we saw on Instagram, because you know what, guys, everything you read on Instagram,
guys and ladies,
real. I'm sorry. Yeah. Do we really? Besides your wife,
yes.
Do we have any ladies?
Lisa,
that listen
my
to this?
Mom, sometimes.
Sometimes
they're all
when
my
I'm not
friends.
swearing. When I'm not swearing.
And Mom, I know, hangs right up when she hears you swear.
Hangs up? She hangs up?
Well, she listens on her phone.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's funny. Anyway, so we saw in an Instagram post about the difference between buying Italian pasta, like true Italian pasta,
yes,
versus whatever the American pasta is. So if you find a pasta that says it originated in Italy, and the other thing that kind of gives it away is how long it takes to cook. If it takes like 12 to 15 minutes or more to cook in water, it's probably real Italian pasta. So we're like, let's try it.
I will call that out. See if that works. I'll tell you what. And
okay,
just as an
aside, me why, but let me finish. All
right, fine.
Let me finish, because we tried it, and she didn't have the same effect. She didn't have the same effect. No, it didn't bother her. Oh, like the pasta did not bother her. Interesting. Okay. So now she really digs it, because now she can actually have pasta, because as long as we're getting the Italian stuff, it doesn't bother her. I did tell you that we went to a cooking class in Naples a few months ago. A date night. You may have, but I don't remember. Italian date night. And that's good. If you don't remember, then perhaps some of our listeners and viewers don't remember. Yeah, you probably didn't talk about it in the podcast. I may not have, but Lisa and I went. That was your other friend, Nick. Sur la Table. And I know Sur la Table. We went there for a cooking class. Okay. And it was Italian date night, and steaks and pasta, and oh my gosh. And it was all fresh made, homemade pasta. And he used this 00 flour. I'd never heard of it before, but it has nothing added to it. Right. And semolina flour as well. And so I got some for Christmas for Lisa. So yeah, this is a really heavy gift. What is it? It's flour. And I also got her an attachment for her KitchenAid. KitchenAid? I want one of those. That's on my the KitchenAid's expensive, and she has her grandma's, which is awesome. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I have. We got one for our wedding, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. But the attachment lasts forever too. Was not crazy for sure. The attachment was not crazy. That was a little expensive, but not crazy. Yeah, and we made some homemade pasta here, trying to replicate the meal that we learned at this Sur la Table thing, and it was cool. It was a fun time. And I will tell you, the reason I call you out on the pasta is because that pasta cooks in 2-3 minutes. That's it. But that's fresh. Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. No, I'm not talking about fresh
Italian
pasta.
Stuff that you get. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So the reason it takes so long to cook is let's just call it American. Yeah. It just whatever it is. But the highly processed stuff, the stuff that you would normally get, that's basically dried. It's dried really, really fast. Like it's put in an oven and it's dried, it's, and that's part of what locks in some of the bad stuff. I'm oversimplifying, folks. I realize I am, but the Italians, they basically let it air dry. Yeah. And that's when they bag it up and then they send it. And that's why it takes so long to cook because it's air dry. Yeah. The fresh stuff. And that was something I wanted for Christmas. I asked for it and I didn't get it. Damn it, Jen. What is, I wanted to get my own flour mill. Oh, okay. They make it actually for the KitchenAid mixer. They actually have an attachment so you can grind your own flour, because that's the same thing. If you get organic seed or organic wheat or whatever, you can actually grind your own flour at whatever level you want. And then you can make your own pasta or bread. I've actually started planting wheat in my backyard because I want to take it to the next level. Yes, you should. No, I'm not going to.
We have a pool there. So there's
not a good one though, because your pump's broken.
No, the pump is fine. I think it's something else. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But so yeah, I look at that as kind of a it's why I don't go fishing, because they still sell the shit at the store. Right, and if you can buy the same high quality flour and use that, then and I'll pay the extra because it's a lot more expensive. I don't mind paying that if it's really high quality, like they would use in Italy.
But how long has that been sitting on the shelf? Is what you have to ask yourself.
What happens to it when it sits on the shelf?
The wheat berries will last years as a berry, and when you grind it, you're still getting the full.
You know way too much about vitamins. This crap.
I know. I went down another rabbit hole. Can you believe it?
Yeah,
but yeah, you should.
I do.
But if you're getting it off the shelf, unless it's just freshly ground, you lose. I mean, flour once it's ground loses the minerals and the nutrients in the flour within. I'm going to say days, but it's probably within hours.
Okay. So what you're saying is in Italy, they grind it right away and then they use it right away. Is that
pretty much?
I don't believe that. I think that's
not. I mean, I'm sure not everybody. I mean, they do sell it at stores, but I'm talking about the really good stuff that you get is usually ground fairly fresh. You also have to realize they don't have these mega stores like we do.
For sure, that's a fair point. Have you been to Italy?
I have not, and I wanted to go very badly.
Yeah,
we should. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. We actually.
Tomorrow?
Okay. Well, I don't have my passport. I need to get my passport.
What? You still don't have that?
I still don't have it.
Nick.
I have not. We've had to postpone my trip to Europe in May. So I'm not as excited to get it. So.
Well, you should still get it. So when you can go in a hurry.
I will.
You can.
We just have a few other things happening right now that
you do have some things happening.
Got a few things, quite a few things. Yep.
It's all good stuff. That's
all good stuff. Not stuff we can talk about on the podcast.
No, we can't. But that's all right. But there are other things that we can talk about.
Yeah, like your Jeep. Let's talk more about your Jeep.
Well, it's been fun. It's the typical Florida vehicle, because down here, old guys usually, and I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not pigeonholing here, but it's usually old dudes who will buy convertibles or Jeeps or something cool, and then they die.
Fair enough.
And they have this 2021 has 7,500 miles on it. It's crazy. Who does not drive? And I don't drive much, but
it probably never even touched dirt.
Oh, I'm sure not. And I'm already looking at off-road courses, and because I will take it off-road. I'm not one of the guys that will just, let's make sure we have skid plates, and skid plates on the interstate are really,
it already has those.
It does, I know, but not for the rear differential. So
no, it doesn't.
However, so there are some things that, who knows? I'm probably not going to do anything with it, but
sure you will.
I told you I was on the Hummer off-road track driving with the professional drivers, and it was one of the coolest experiences ever. And so I get off-roading. Most people think, you go at a high rate of speed and you're around. No. It's slow. At least the climbing I like to do is slow. And so anyway, I'm excited about doing some of that. And Lisa probably isn't, but that's all right.
Probably not, no. But I am, and we're going to meet in the middle.
I'll pick you up someplace, yes.
You don't have to pick me up. I'm keeping mine, remember?
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we'll double Jeep it.
Yeah, exactly. I have to get new tires and a new winch and a new soft top.
Oh, I don't have a winch.
Okay, this is just going to be a list of things I need new for the whole podcast.
I need to know what I don't know is what I need. So you're going to have to tell me. I don't need a new soft top because I have this stupid convertible top.
You know what you need?
Not something I would have gotten.
Oh, I thought you said you had a hard top.
No, it's a convertible top.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the power convertible top.
Oh, you got one of those.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
It sprays really nicely in the car wash.
Does it?
I went through the car wash. I'm like, the hell? Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, just a
that's
little, but that's
fantastic. Yeah.
crap. Come on.
It's okay. It's a Jeep. It's a Jeep.
It's not like it's going to hurt anything, but seriously, and so the guy, whoever ordered it, did not order it with the lock package, so it doesn't have proximity key fob. So I have to lock and unlock manually.
That's interesting. Does it have cloth seats or leather seats?
Leather seats, and does not have remote start either because of that. Yep. They did not order that package, but they got the power convertible top.
Well, that power convertible top is extremely expensive.
It's $4,000. Yes.
Yeah.
And I would much rather have.
You can always swap it out later. Don't have to do it now, but you can always swap it out later.
I guess you could. It's not anything I would do. It's not fire, but as I said, it's in the garage because it fits.
It fits.
So I don't have to worry too much about leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, but the Florida sun is really a thing down here.
So that would be the first thing. I'll have to send you the brand. It's Alien something, but I have for when I take the top off, and actually I keep it pretty much, even when the top's on, I keep it in all summer. I have mesh tops they're bikini tops. So it keeps, you can still see through them, but it's like a screen and it keeps the sun off of you.
There's nothing I like more than bikini tops that you can see through.
I knew you were going to go there.
Well, you said it. What's the point of
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. Yeah, of course not. And my brother had a hard top, but he hooked up like a pulley system in his garage, which is pretty cool. I thought that would be.
It is. I have the same thing right now, actually.
Do you?
And I hate it. So when we end up moving,
yes,
I am going to get. They have a couple of different brands make it, but I'm going to get one of it's basically a wheeled dolly type thing that you open up the back gate, you slide it in, it lifts the top up about 3 inches, and then you just pull it off. And then you can actually park the Jeep straight into it. So it just holds the top up. Doesn't connect to anything, and you can wheel it anywhere in the garage or out of the garage if you want to. You can actually hang the doors on it as well.
It's on a dolly though, so
it's a dolly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't have the room for it now, but when we move, I'm thinking we'll have room for it. So speaking of moving, go ahead.
Yes.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say how far off or how wide is it beyond the Jeep?
Nah, it's not wider than the Jeep.
Well, doesn't it rest on the ground?
Yeah, but it goes under, like the wheels. Like if you had a bar here and a bar here, the wheels go under the Jeep. So it's not wider than the Jeep.
Oh, interesting. I see. Yeah. So it's like
I'll send you
TV
pictures.
tray sort of a thing that slides under your
Yeah.
Got it.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
Yep.
Speaking of moving.
Yeah. I shared the Peyton House with Matt last week, and I know you saw it, so it's pretty cool. But we also went over the weekend because we are in the process right now of getting ready to put this house on the market, and because of that, we got really overwhelmed. It is very overwhelming, folks, especially this house to move. And I'll be
how long
frank,
have you been in the house?
8 years, 7 years. We're on our 8th year. We've been here 7 years. So and there's a lot of stuff because we didn't get rid of a lot of stuff. I brought a lot of my mom's stuff. Jen brought a lot of her dad's stuff. So it's like a mixture of everything. And a lot of it wasn't even out. It's in the attic. It's just been stored away. And it's stuff now that we've got to the point where like, no, we don't. I really honestly don't care. I don't care. Just I don't care what it is. Just get rid of it. The only thing I really want to keep are my clothes, my computer, and pictures.
You're going to keep your clothes. You're so selfish.
I know I am.
Yeah.
My shoes too, and the Jeep.
And the Jeep. Yes.
So anyway, our number one choice is still Peyton House, but this house is a little over 2,800 square feet, which isn't huge. It's not huge, but
big.
It's big.
Yeah.
And we went to a townhome, thinking it was built in 1990, so about the same time this house was built. That one was actually bigger by 100 square feet, but still. That townhouse was bigger than this house.
Wow.
It
That
was
surprises
massive, and all of it was in the basement, which
yeah,
especially the folks that know anything about Nashville,
yep.
you don't get a basement in Nashville. It's
Hmm.
very rare. This
Interesting.
townhome had a basement, and it was massive.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dogs are being noisy.
I heard the puppies.
I don't know where they went. Oh, well, they got excited. Someone's probably knocking on the door. But anyway, yeah, so I thought that was, but the thing that I didn't like it. It is number 2. It is, we did all agree that would be number 2.
Okay.
It's kind of a backup,
Yep.
even over the brand new ones, which is, they're still an option. They just kind of slid to number 3, which he just emailed me this evening. So, don't tell him. I won't email. Don't worry.
Say a word. He's listening right now.
He is. So the reason, though, it made number 2, the interior, I didn't like that much. I actually like number 3 better than number 2 for the interior.
Yep.
But the garage, John, was massive. Like
2 car or 3 car?
It's a 2 car, but I could probably fit 3 into it.
Wow.
That's how big it was.
So 2.5.
Yeah, let's just say that. It's 2.5. It's extremely deep. Like that,
Love that.
The garage was probably the size of the main floor of the whole townhome.
Wow, cool.
It was huge, and I'm just sitting there going, I can put my camping gear there.
Yeah,
I can I could have my office out here if I really wanted to.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Mom, at her last house before she moved to the assisted living place, had a 4-car garage, but it was a piggyback 2-car. And it was so cool, and loved having that extra space in the back. And, she had, she had 1 car in there for the longest time. And you go, this, come on, use this space. But yeah, that is
a
very
great place
cool
to put
feature.
a Jeep and a Harley and
not a
BMW.
On the other hand, I will say this, and this is funny, where the place. So I bought the Jeep at a Ford store.
Okay.
And oddly enough, it was primarily because I needed to sell it to a Ford store, sell my pickup to a Ford store, because they're the only ones that could wait for the warranty work to be done.
Right.
So, blah, 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 long story. On the showroom floor, they had a Harley.
That's
Road
hilarious.
King, which was my first Harley. And first Harley. And it was, a 2014 or something like that, 2015, for $10,000. And I'm like, hey, I could sell mine, pocket the profit. And
there you go.
So I don't know.
You still could.
Oh, I absolutely could. And I don't know once if this one sells, I can imagine Lisa would. Okay, so we're without a Harley now. Well, not so fast.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. At that point you could go, okay, Lisa, we could get another Harley.
I have good news and bad news.
Or we could get another dog.
Oh no, she'd do the dog in a heartbeat.
I know she would.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? I mean, seriously, who wouldn't?
I wouldn't. I love dogs.
I'm going to call you bullshit. I'm going to call the bullshit on that one.
Before a Harley? No, I'd probably do a Harley again.
Really?
I don't
Interesting.
The dog thing is we have the benefit, and I've told you this, of babysitting, dog sitting.
Yeah.
2 of our pastors at church have dogs, and they could not be more different.
Yeah.
The pastors are similar, but the dogs are different.
That was good.
Mean that in a
I
good
like
way.
that. That was really good.
I mean, in a good way. One it's a dachshund mix.
Yeah.
And little tiny scooter,
little wiener dog
wheelbase. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the cutest thing. And he typically takes, at first it was 2 days before he would let me pet him, because he would just skitter away. And it was an hour and a half probably before I got to pet him this time. So it was good. We're getting closer. The other is a 95-pound Labrador who is a big lover, and we're big dog people. And oh my gosh. Well, Lisa is crazy about both of them.
I bet.
But we get to see them often enough that we really don't need a dog. So that's,
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of my route. So Okay, I have to move to the other
light
flip light because this is.
You could just open your window.
I could, well, but that's backlight though.
Well,
you
that's
don't
your
want
fault
that.
for moving your desk.
Oh! It is my fault, but I will say
people listen to this podcast for that. Yeah,
this has been a good desk move because it's way better.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. I'm not so Peyton House. Jen and I were talking about that this morning. The only problem we have with Peyton House is she and I are going to have to share office space. So right now I'm on the 3rd floor in my own dedicated office. That's the 1-car garage.
1-car garage,
which I'm getting a little bit more okay with. We only have 2 cars, so one can go in the garage, one can sit on the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a few years to worry about Peyton, so we don't necessarily have to worry about 3 cars yet.
You say that now.
I know I say that
it's
now.
Coming up so fast.
Oh, which one? Anyway,
Peyton driving.
She doesn't want to.
We
Michael
talked about either until there was a girlfriend thing.
Well, I'm hoping Peyton's not going to have to worry about a girlfriend thing.
I don't think she will, but things change. But
you never know.
Yeah, maybe she won't.
She may. Yeah. She doesn't want to, and a lot of her friends don't want to either. Matt and I had a long conversation. His kids don't really want to drive either.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be driving around her around until she's 25 years old.
And that is the benefit, or one of the benefits, is that you don't have to do that as much.
Yeah, exactly. I think the one thing that's going to convince her to drive early is if I keep the Jeep. So I'm going to use that as the excuse.
Interesting.
Yeah, because she wants that. She keeps saying, Peyton, if you ever get your driver's license, what kind of car do you want? I want a white Jeep.
Okay. She likes the Jeep.
Clearly. Yeah, she loves the Jeep. She loves the Jeep.
That's good.
Like that, I have to take her to school in the morning. Exactly. I have to take her in the Jeep every morning to school. Even though for a while we had my demo, we had the little truck, and we had the Jeep, and she made me take the Jeep, and she's like, "Well, it's the only one that has the mirror that just doesn't move when we drive." And I'm like, I don't know if that's quite true. Have you seen the tires on the Jeep?
Wow, you're doing a good Bill Cosby there.
Thanks.
Which creeps me out just a little.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if you have some Jello pudding. Yeah, leave that alone. Oh my goodness!
I remember growing up listening to albums on vinyl of Bill Cosby and Martin, not Martin Short.
Steve Martin.
Well, Martin Short, Steve Martin.
Yeah. I had Steve Martin album. Foster Brooks was my favorite, my first one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
The guy who played the drunk. That was my first
album,
I think. And, oh, my goodness.
Yeah. We had, I'm trying to think if we had that album or if I just saw it somewhere.
The Lovable Lush, it was called. Wow, I can't believe I remember that.
We did that. Yes, I remember that. We had that as an album.
He's
my favorite. It makes me really appreciate my mom's sense of humor. I never thought about that before.
I appreciate your mom's sense of humor, too. Sadly, I never met her.
Yeah, well, you're not missing out. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Everyone loved my mom.
It's from
my mom. Everyone loved my mom more than my girlfriends in high school loved my mom more than they loved me.
I'm going to leave that alone because it's almost too easy.
It is way too easy.
Yeah.
But I did that on purpose, hoping that you would
I
capitalize on that comedy gold.
Why would I do that to you? Comedy gold.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to PoddiMouths. Comedy gold.
Comedy gold.
Yeah.
That's our new tagline, folks. Season 7, Comedy Gold.
I don't think so. They're going to say, did they get 2 new guys? Because how the hell could those guys could never.
That's right. We're selling PoddiMouths.
They do comedy bronze at best. It's more like comedy aluminum.
Oh, come on. It's more like, I still think we're at least silver. This is a pretty damn good podcast. We lasted this long.
You know what that means? Because we had other jobs.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That,
There's no excuse for you.
There is. And, of course, we enjoy. So, this is just us talking every couple weeks now, it seems like.
Yeah,
every
it feels
week,
like it.
ideally.
I had a lot of news to get John caught up on, and he's like,
Kind of.
I'm just too busy for you.
You were way too busy.
No, you
But
were
that's
too busy.
okay.
We were both
I was
too
fine.
busy. What kind of vodka do you have in your bloody, or did you
Had.
have in
It's
your
gone. It's
gone?
gone.
I still have
Tito's.
some. I actually beat you.
Oh, you did, or I beat you.
Whichever.
Whatever. What kind did you have? You have
Johnny Walker Black.
Oh, Johnny Walker Black. They had that on special at
That's why I got it.
Liquor store. Well, what did you pay? All right.
I don't remember.
See, so it
wasn't
really
over
special.
$40.
No. Yeah, and that's do you find that's kind of your wheelhouse?
About $40?
Yeah. Especially for good
Scotch and bourbon. Yeah.
Good Scotch and good bourbon. Yeah.
Yep. That's about it.
Traveler that our friend
I
Eric.
love Travelers. I have some downstairs. It was a choice between they're literally sitting next to each other. It was a choice between the two.
Oh, well, but one is Scotch and one's bourbon.
Right.
I mean, quote unquote Scotch. I don't count that as Scotch. I count
it's blend.
That's a blend.
It's a blend.
Exactly. But I saw one of my favorites that is as peaty as you can possibly get in a Scotch. I know.
Lafroig?
And a lot of people do. Lafroig, exactly.
Yeah,
I found it.
I hate.
And it used to be in the $40 range, and it was like 60 something.
Seriously?
Oh, and up to 90. Because I think it's one of the Islay Islands, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I think there's Lafroig in here, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I didn't know they showed that. What the mix is.
They talk about it. So there's one, and now I'm going to try to remember the name. So
the blend is amazing because the
blend is amazing.
How do you get a consistent flavor when you change the mixes? You know.
Well, you don't, and that's the key right there, because you're bringing in the same. I don't remember the number. I think I get the year and the number of blends that are in there, but there's a blend. There's a single malt that they actually used to bottle and sell in the States, and it was my stepdad's favorite single malt.
Oh,
and I cannot remember the name, but I do know.
Johnny Walker?
No.
I see.
But it was either in a consortium or it was part of the blend. It is. I know. So Lafroig is a guess. I don't know if Lafroig's in here or not, but I do know that single malt is in here because this is a mixture of a number of different single malts.
But they use the same ones?
Yes, the same ones every single time.
Interesting.
And so some of them are actually bottled as single malts and sold. Some of them are not. Some of them are just subsidiaries. They make single malts and then they use it to blend into the Johnny Walker Black.
Interesting. Okay.
And I just cannot. I want to say Cardew. Cardew.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
That sounds like one.
Yeah.
I looked at, honestly, and sadly, my Scotch taste is quite good.
Oh, I was going to say limited?
No. I actually was staring at the Scotch pile the last time I was at the liquor store. And oh my gosh! And there are the Balvenis and and all the bees, and I don't know half of what they are, but they're all decent, and Glenfiddich and Glen Levitt and Glen Campbell. That was very good one.
Yeah, it was good. It is Cardew. Cardhu. Cardew.
I may have seen that one.
Yep.
But there were several like that. My top line one, $90 a bottle, is Lagavulin.
I know you've had you have shared that with me when we were in Chicago.
It's delicious. And did you have some with me?
Yes.
Okay.
You bought me a glass.
Okay. Here
before we went and had seafood towers.
That was really good, by the way. And steak, didn't we do steak once?
Oh
too?
yeah. Oh,
that steak place
no, that was
really
we've
good.
done steak several times.
Yeah, but
we did one in Nashville, but that one was in Chicago. We went to a steakhouse, and that's where you got the seafood tower. But then we also did because that was a steakhouse. Yeah.
Okay. I often
no one really cares
you to eat really well.
Yeah, I know. Twisted my arm. I mean, I literally. It was like dragging, kicking, and screaming. Mm-hmm.
The Nashville Steakhouse, that was really good.
Yeah, that was martini night, though.
It was, and that was
Yeah.
also very good.
Yes, it was.
What was the name of the steakhouse? Do you remember?
No, but I can look it up. So I know where it is. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but that was really good. And we actually sat like at the bar and ate.
We did,
which dudes do sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah,
that's where dudes should eat steak.
Well, I kind of think that too, but yeah. So that was good. That was
good.
A fun time, and I know I'll know it as soon as you say it. And I know
now that we're talking about steak, I'm starving.
Back. I am starving for the fillet.
I had. We actually went out
Lisa's
the other
making
night.
Chicken tonight. Damn it!
Excuse me. I think I'm having a. What is that called? Tater tot casserole, or in our world, it's a tater tot hot dish.
Oh, TTHC.
Yep. All right, it's
That's
right
really
there.
Good. I don't do tater tots nearly enough.
All right, let's see.
I'm already chubby.
I don't think it's closed, John. I don't think it's closed, but it's not coming up.
Oh.
I'm looking at it because I know which building it's in, and it was right in front of the Chet Atkins statue.
Oh,
but it's not coming up on the map.
I'll have to look for it because I know you know where it is.
It's Silo?
Nope. It was a dude's name.
It was.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's definitely not coming up. That's weird. Anyway,
well, we'll see if we can figure it out. But that was very nice, and it was
good.
fun because we did martinis, and you don't do a lot of martinis.
I do.
I mean,
okay. So let's be fair. What are you saying?
Starting your new job, you should probably say no. You never do martinis. Just kidding. Anyway, so you're gonna have to edit now.
Jeff Ruby's.
Welcome.
That was not Jeff Ruby's.
Yes.
It was not Jeff Ruby's. That was not Jeff Ruby's.
I said it was a guy's
not
name.
as nice place, but it is Jeff Ruby's. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures.
That's where it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
It was.
The guy's name.
Yeah. Well, Jeff Ruby's is a chain. Most good steakhouses.
I know it's a chain.
I hate the fact that most really good steakhouses are chains.
I know. Fleming's. I'm a big fan of Fleming's.
I love Fleming's.
Orlando,
I love Ruth's Chris.
I do too. Orlando has a one that used to be a chain, and it's since become a family. It's the finest steakhouse.
Okay.
Probably I've been to Christner's, Christners.
Is it
in Orlando?
Is it a chain?
It is not. It used to be.
Okay.
And then the guy, I think Dave Christner, if I'm not mistaken, his dad bought it, and Dave has since taken it over, and it's amazing. It is not inexpensive. If you're looking for, hey, we should go out and save some money and go to Christner's, I would rethink that. But I will tell you, it's incredible. It is a wonderful place. My buddy David plays at a piano bar there and does very well for many, many years, and does very well there. Anyway, it's it's a great place for steaks and not inexpensive.
So,
but as you said,
when are we going?
We need to go when you're in Orlando next, and I can suffer a drive to Orlando, which I would be there much more often.
Now you're driving
a decent drive.
Yeah, but it's a Jeep now, so
I'll go off road, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, on the way,
just take the back road.
Idea.
Yeah, that'll only take you another 2 hours.
I know exactly. Even with the traffic tie-ups,
but you can run over crocodiles.
You go over the top of the alligators. Come on,
I know. That's why I said that.
You don't. Whatever. It's not like I live in Sydney.
Yeah, like Australia. Like TJ.
Like Tej.
Yep.
Our buddy.
On that note,
he's still there.
He is still there. In that general area. I don't know. TJ, you should comment and let us know exactly where you live.
TJ, let us know where you are.
Visit.
You think he's still listening?
Yes.
He better be.
So last time I said something about that, I did get a nasty gram saying,
did you?
You know I do listen to every episode.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for him. I love that guy. And so this is, Lisa and I were talking about that, and I know you already did on that note. We'll get there.
We can just keep going. I don't care.
Now we need to. Going back to
I've never
Australia.
been. I want to go.
I was there for 3 weeks, and 3 weeks seems to be the core time, but I hit all the coastal towns.
Nice.
And it was work, but
I want to go for work.
Some beautiful towns, and you do that, and it's weird because they have such different personalities. Perth from Sydney and Melbourne is. It's just hard to explain how different they are. Melbourne is like Austin or Seattle, sort of, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And Sydney is more Tampa, and it's fun, much larger, but it's fun to kind of see how they react and how they interact in each of those areas.
Interesting.
It's a wonderful country.
It's awesome definitely a place I've always wanted to go, and I plan to.
It's a long way to get there.
I would love to do that for work. That's the thing with stuff like that. I mean, I would much rather. I like to work travel more than I like to fun travel. We've talked about that before.
Yep.
Our statement.
Because we can. Yeah, we have talked about that before.
Yeah,
it's because we can write it off.
Well, yeah, that too. But I just tend to get bored. I really do.
Well, if you're with your family and you're doing fun stuff. Okay, good. Yeah, let's leave that. On that note.
Yeah, on that note. I have fun. I have a lot of fun with my family, but it's, there's the morning and then there's the afternoon and then there's all this time in between where I'm just sitting there because I'm not, this is a horrible way to say it, but I think it's the easiest way to describe it. I'm uber efficient. So I like to do boom, boom, boom.
But you have to
boom.
You have to differentiate between vacation Nick and work Nick.
But that is vacation Nick too.
But
not planning. I don't have to plan.
No,
I don't have to plan, but I have to. When I'm done with something, I have to move on to the next thing.
But you
have to move on to the next thing. When you go
through the airport, you have to be vacation Nick.
Oh, I know.
Nick.
I understand that, and I do that just fine. But I don't like to not do something. I am not a sit on the beach and read a book. I can't do it.
Got it. So are we going to do it Italy first, and then because I think if we're going to fly in a plane for 12 to 15 hours, depending on tailwinds, that New Zealand might be
absolutely. So here's what I think we should do.
So
you should come up here.
Okay.
Then we're going to get on an air. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
We'll go camping for a night.
Good idea.
Then we'll get on an Aer Lingus flight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Dublin. We'll spend a few days in Dublin.
Okay.
Then we're going to fly to Amsterdam.
We got to play golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to fly to Amsterdam. We'll spend a few days in Amsterdam. We'll visit some family of mine.
I've been to Amsterdam.
Then we'll go to. I haven't. Then we'll go to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll take a flight from Italy to Australia, and then from Australia to New Zealand. We'll sell the shit out of PoddiMouths.
Okay.
So we can afford it. And we'll just have fun. What, PoddiMouths or shit?
That sounds great. We're going to need some sponsors first.
Yeah.
So
sponsors or Sean Ryan. Do you ever listen to his podcast?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, I mean most of his his money started with Patreon, so we just need to drive more people to our Patreon.
We do.
Even though we can't access it.
There's that. We could have billions waiting there for us.
Billions and billions of pennies.
Like USAID. We could
exactly.
Have, yeah. We aren't going there.
We're funding never mind.
Yeah, on that note.
Definitely on that note. We're going down the wrong rabbit hole right now.
We'll get that rabbit hole later.
Okay.
Tune
Maybe
in
next week.
Yes.
That sounds good to me.
Maybe
John, it's been fantastic. As always, folks, head up to PoddiMouths.com and buy your merch. Andrew, I'm so sorry that your sweatshirt was sold out. I don't think it is now, but if it is again, please let me know, and I'll make sure that we hook you up with that that sweatshirt. Anyway, folks, have a great week, and we will see you again very, very soon.
See ya. Caw-caw.